You can get the Mantis blades from Cyberpunk and a lot more hidden powerful items in Dying Light 2. Like, most of these weapons are completely missable if you're not actively looking for them, so in this video I'll show you everything you need to know about finding them and how awesome they are. Now do keep in mind that there might be some slight spoilers over here, but only for some of the very early on missions. I just wanted to make that clear from the start in case you haven't reached that point already. Also, there's still time left in our February giveaway for a free copy of Dying Light 2 on a platform that the winner chooses. You simply have to be a subscriber of the channel, follow the links down below, and I will reach out to the winner at the end of the giveaway as always. But let's get started with a really awesome katana very early on called the Bad Gal, and after farming a ton of items of artifact quality in the game, I have not found the same weapon again. Reason being is because it's given to you as a reward from a mission called Into the Dark. Now, to get this mission in the first place, you actually have to side with the peacekeepers during the previous one called Water Tower. Essentially, just give the Water Tower to the PKs and go with the PK dialogues to open up Into the Dark. Once you've opened it, you just have to follow the mission and finish it. It's quite lengthy, but at the end of it, you do get the Bad Gal as a reward. And at that point into the game, it's one of the best early on artifact weapons. It comes with 200 plus durability and 3 mod slots pre-installed, but obviously, yeah, these stats might vary a little bit depending on your player rank. Nonetheless, it also comes with a regen health on perfect parry perk that is really amazing against some of the human enemies. Overall, if you play as a tank that favors two-handed weapon damage, you're going to have an amazing time with this one, and after that you can pretty much repair it with some of the other mods in the game. Moving on to number 2, let's talk about the Lazarus, which you likely heard about at some of the starting points in the game, but yeah, you probably missed it. Reason being is because it's actually given to you through a side quest that also involves some decisions. Specifically, this side quest right here for Aitor. Essentially, once you reach the PK ship around the middle part of the game, you're going to notice that Aitor is in a pretty bad shape and he needs some medicine. This is pretty much the first part of it. What you have to do in this case is to follow the mission to a certain witch that will tell you that you need to grab some nearby flowers during the night. Once you're done with that, head back to the base and make absolutely sure that you only give him the small petals, as these are the ones that heal. If you give the big ones, they are pretty much poisonous. Once this is done, what you have to do is to continue a bit of the main story until after you have finished the main story mission called Broadcast, which is the one that brings you at the tallest building in the game and also the one that opens up the radio antennas. And once you're done with that, you can make your way back to the fisheye and you're going to notice the character is sitting right here inside of the bar onto the left side of the building. You can go ahead and talk to him, but pay close attention because he isn't marked, so just like look at the green outline or something, and once you're done talking with him, he's going to pretty much thank you and he will give you the Lazarus weapons. And these ones will make you feel like Wolverine. It's probably going to be one of the first knuckle weapon that you get in the game, but it's just all around amazing. It only lists like 69 damage at rank 4, but it feels as if it's dealing way more damage than that, especially since it's super easy to spam it, it's a fast attack weapon, and you should take down enemies really easily. You're going to slash heads and limbs very easily with this weapon. Now, the only downside to it is that it doesn't come with any mod sockets, meaning that you can't really repair it or add any other mods to make it more powerful. There are artifact alternatives that do have that, but this one doesn't. It just has 210 durability, and that's kind of it. Which also brings us to the next better weapon, and that's going to be a Cyberpunk inspired one, specifically the Cyberpunk inspired MANTIS blade. So this one is also acquirable after finishing the broadcast mission, since this will open up the VNC tower and it's going to be super easy to climb at the top. Specifically, in this case, what you will want to do is to just take up the elevator, which will bring you exactly at the top in just like a minute or so. Once you're there, just pay close attention to these two buildings right here. Now, if you have plenty of stamina, you can definitely go ahead and just jump onto the second one right away, which is the one pretty much south of of the VNC tower, but if you don't, just make your way to the first one right here, since this one also gives you access to a military drop that will give you some other resources and military tech. Once you're done with that, simply jump from the highest point onto the next rooftop, and once you reach this location, you're going to already notice there's a really strange character sitting by the edge. Now, I will not spoil the contents of the conversation, but let's just say there are some Easter eggs both for Cyberpunk and also the protagonist of the first game, and I'm gonna leave it at that. Once you're done talking to him, he's going to point towards this little box over here onto the left side that will give you access to the Cyber Hands 2177, which is pretty much a direct reference to Cyberpunk 2077. And specifically, you will get another pair of knuckles, this time around craftable, that kind of resemble loosely the MANTIS blades from the first game. I'm saying loosely because it's not literally the same thing, but yeah, I can see the resemblance over there at the end. Now, this might look completely unimpressive at first, just great quality, doesn't have any mods, and it also seems to break fast. Well, what if I told you it's probably the strongest weapon right now in the game, simply because every single attack with it will shock a primary target and every single enemy around it. It's so powerful in fact that you can stun lock a full group of zombies or enemies. There's no amount of sparks you can apply to a typical weapon that can even compete with this one. It might get close, but not really on this level. Unfortunately, it breaks really fast and it costs 369 scraps for some reason to craft another one, so it's probably something that you'll want to keep for some of the annoying bosses or tougher challenges later on in the game. And this, ladies and gents, brings us to the final weapon, or should I say couple of items. One is a weapon, one is an item, and also a secret developer room that you can find in the same tower with that military airdrop that we saw previously. So you likely noticed that there was a power cable on the top of the building. Well, basically you have to connect 3 of these power cables to 3 locations a few stories down to open up that secret developer room. The first one, you just have to jump 2 stories down and also use your break fall ability to avoid dying once you reach that. Of course, you have to hold the cable in order to do that more easily. Now, the second one is going to be onto the second floor, so go ahead, again, grab it and jump 2 stories down and again connect it to the power box. Finally, the third one is going to be the trickiest of them all. The long fall will require you to use a grappling hook to grab at the lamppost at the last minute, otherwise you might risk falling and dying. You also have to do this 2 times, but once you reach the final floor, you're going to be able to power up that secret room and then unlock it with your GRE key. Also, be careful because there's going to be an exploding zombie inside. Once you're done with that, here is how you get the finger gun blast first. You have to go into the very last room after the Techland symbol and simply stay here on the bed and wait until all of the teddy bears are spawned. Once you're done with that, you're going to notice there's an envelope that will contain the finger gun that you can go ahead and claim. This will be called the left finger of Glova, and it's also a craftable blueprint, but it costs a bit of scrap to get in the first place. It's way more powerful than the boomstick though, even when the boomstick is fully upgraded, simply because it has 16 whole uses by default, but unfortunately you can't upgrade that. It also comes with random effects, so every time you shoot it, there's a chance for a random elemental type damage to be applied to the enemy, like fire, toxic, electric, and so on and so forth. It also seems to apply the blast effect from the fling mod, which just knocks down enemies really far away, and it's super satisfying to use it to kind of like throw them off buildings. Unfortunately, as I've said, it's not upgradable and the cost of it is 369, just like in the case of the MANTIS blades. Finally, also inside of the same developer room, you can also get the Korek Charm, and you get it by sitting at this table right here with the thank you envelope on it. What you have to do in this case is to just sit on all of these 4 places around that table, and once you do it on the last one, you're going to notice another envelope spawning, which will give you access to the Korek Charm. For everybody who's been a longtime fan of Dying Light, you probably already know that this is a throwback at the Korek machete from the first game, which was a really strong early on option, but also in itself it was a tribute to one of Techland's best coders. On top of that, it's also one of the best charms in the game. It's the only one that has a usability, which is providing a flat 500 durability repair upon use, making it amazing with the other choices that already exist in the game, so you can already apply it to any weapon in the game that has a charm socket. And this is pretty much it with some of the strongest weapons in the game. There's plenty more to cover, so if you want to stay up to date with everything Dying Light 2 related, definitely leave a like on this video, subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys in the next video.